Okay, now we're recording. Thank you so much for that reminder. So thank you again, everyone, for hopping on here. So we're going to be covering these cards that I posted the link on. And what I want y'all, on the cards, there are talking points, and all of these are compliant things that have been tested about the products. You can say them on social media. They're safe to say anywhere. But what I want to go in even more with y'all tonight are the uncompliant things that we can't publicly say about the products, but that there are different studies out there showing that the ingredients in these products are doing things that we've seen over time the products are doing. And just make notes on here. Here are some other things that they might help you with. Things that you can say when you're talking to someone one-on-one about the products. So there are so many amazing things that these products can do, and I want you guys to walk away here with just blown away, A, by the products that we sell, and B, just with complete belief in what we're selling. So the first product we're going to start with tonight is Plexus Lens. So this is our flagship product. I'm assuming you've all tried it and love it and have started to kind of feel some of the effects of the product. So what it does, basically, one of the main things Plexus Lens does is it works by keeping your blood sugar stable. One thing to keep note, and I'm not sure if they're talking points or not, when people ask, it's sweetened with stevia, it's colored with beetroot, it's plant-based, as completely natural as can be. So people are really interested in what's it sweetened with, what's it colored with, you know, is this an all-natural product? So it is. But it's working by keeping your blood sugar stable. And most people will hit you back and say, well, I'm not diabetic. I don't have issues with keeping my blood sugar stable. Well, here's why that is crucial and why it makes people feel different. When your blood sugars, when you're not taking something to help stabilize that throughout the day, your body is actually doing all the work to keep your blood sugar stable. If you skip a meal, or if you're eating high sugar in the morning, or just not eating perfectly throughout the day, your blood sugars are going to go up and down. And you're going to release insulin to stabilize them back to normal if your body functions the way it's supposed to do. And if you're releasing too much insulin, that insulin is actually a master hormone. So it can actually control your other hormones, cause them to produce too much or too little of something, and make you, and kind of wreak havoc in your system. When hormones are off balance, it can do all kinds of things for you. And so this is why you might feel sluggish in the afternoon. It might, you know, cause you to have headaches or carry your weight in your gut. Too much, and insulin is an amazing hormone. We need it, but too much of a good thing can be very, very bad. So that's where Plexus Lens enters, is that it helps you from producing too much of that insulin so that your bodies can work the way they were designed to work. And that's the way I like to describe it to people. It's not packed with caffeine. It does say on the package may have less than, I think it says 3%, 2% of caffeine in it. The reason why it says that is because chlorogenic acid is one of the ingredients in it, and it's extracted from green coffee bean. Well, every batch has been tested so far, and up to date, since the day I started to now, 5 years later, there's actually never been any caffeine tested in our products, and they test every single batch. Now, for safety reasons, the FDA requires them to put that warning label on there just in case somebody can't have caffeine. There is a chance one day there might be a batch that has a trace amount of it because they are extracting that chlorogenic acid from green coffee bean. So it's always a chance. Green coffee bean itself is not what's in the slim. It's the extract from the green coffee bean. It's totally different. It's not the caffeinated part of the bean. So that is why that warning's up there. So it's not a caffeinated energy, back to what it's going to make you feel like. So when you're talking to someone about it, make sure they know this isn't like a quick fix that's going to give you a huge boost. But the great thing about that is it's also not going to have a huge crash that comes with caffeine typically. You're going to just feel, you're going to start feeling normal. If you don't feel normal right now, which most people don't know what that actually feels like. Most people, as they get older, just assume, I guess I'm supposed to start feeling bad, but that's actually not the case. We're not trapped into a life of feeling bad forever. You actually can feel like you're supposed to feel. And so one interesting thing about that is I'll warn you, I've been in this, actually my 5-year anniversary. I think it's today. It's my 5-year anniversary. Oh, wow. It's like today or tomorrow. It might be today. Anyway, I just realized that. But I have watched people join me, fall in love with the product, and then quit over and over and over because they forgot how they felt before they started Plexus. So one thing I love to have my new customers and ambassadors do now is make sure they make a list of how they feel before they start Plexus. Because then they'll be like, I feel normal. It's not doing anything for me. They quit. 2 or 3 weeks later, they come back crying, okay, it was doing something. Give me my product back. Which I think is always good for people to see sometimes, to take a little break so they realize, okay, these are powerful products that are changing my life. I need them. So another thing about Slim, our new Slim that they just came out with last year, has prebiotics in it. And so this prebiotic, even if you don't take a probiotic, it's going to increase the natural probiotics that are in your gut. It's basically food for good bacteria. And so the prebiotic blend in there, when you take it with the probiotic, it's going to do even more because it's going to help that probiotic that you're taking stay alive and do what it's supposed to do in your gut. So really cool that they added that. So the combo Triplex is our most sold combo. It's the combo that you're going to get the most health testimonies out of. It is the gut health combo. So the next product in the Triplex is the ProBio 5. So ProBio 5, so we have 2 probiotics. I'm going to talk about this one first, and then we'll talk about Vital Biome soon after. What makes this probiotic different from everything else on the market? That's something you're going to be asked a lot. Why is your probiotic better than the one I'm taking? My doctor prescribed this one. It's $70 a bottle. It's got so many CFUs in it. It's really, really, really good. Now, I'm not dismissing that there aren't other really, really good, high-quality probiotics on the market. I know that there are. But what makes this one different than anything I've ever seen is the enzyme blend that it has inside of it. And I thought I had this pulled up on my other screen, but I don't. It fell away. So that enzyme blend was created specifically to target Candida, which is the bad yeast that's in your gut. Now, Candida is something that the FDA doesn't like us to say because it's technically has just recently been dubbed as a medical condition. Now that they're starting to realize how Candida can affect our guts, doctors are starting to take it more seriously. So we have to be careful saying the word Candida because it's a medical cure or medical claim. But Candida is a yeast, is all it is. It's not a disease. It's not anything that's super bad. Actually, we are born with it. It has a purpose. You are not going to ever get rid of all the Candida in your gut. You don't want to. So what it's going to do, it's there so that when we die, our bodies can decompose. It's what it is in our bodies for. And what you want is a good healthy balance of these bacteria in your gut so that you're not in dysbiosis. So the cool thing about this enzyme blend. So there's 4 ingredients in it. It is protease, chatosanase, cellulase, and serapeptase. I might be totally mispronouncing all of those. So if I am, I'm sorry. So, and there are 4 layers to the cellular wall of Candida. There's an outer layer of protein, there's the B-glucans, there's chitin, and then there's another layer of protein at the bottom. Well, each one of these enzymes actually targets one of those layers of the cell wall of Candida. I mean, whoever created this was genius. For years, I just talked about the importance of chitosanase because chitin is one of the strongest parts of that cellular wall. And just recently, as I was researching the actual full cellular wall of Candida, is when I discovered that the link between these other enzymes, because I was like, what are these other enzymes here for? Where the cellulose, it breaks down glucose, which is that B-glucan cell, and then which is the other one, the protease breaks down protein, which is this amino protein cell. So I just got so excited when I discovered that because I'm like, this is why this works, because it's actually getting into that Candida, it's breaking through the wall, and then we have the green grapeseed extract, and that is the antifungal that goes in and kills that candida once it's gotten through the cellular wall. Because the antifungal itself usually doesn't have great success on candida. It actually needs something to break through that wall. Then you can kill that. Then you can kill the yeast. It's a really, really bad yeast. There's a book called Recaging the Beast. If you ever want to really read about candida overgrowth and leaky gut and what all it can do, I mean, it's kind of terrifying, but it's a fascinating book. So that all to say, that is why our ProBio 5 is different than the rest. It's that enzyme blend. And I talk all about this a little bit more with some links to some studies on our 7 days of Plexus every month. So if you ever need the exact wording because someone's asked you about that, you can hop over to any of our monthly 7-day Plexuses that we have going on, and you can just copy and paste my wording on that, or just message me. I'll send it to you too. So the next part in our triplex is the BioCleanse. So this BioCleanse, really what it's going to do is help you have a natural detox process. We're kind of constantly detoxing. This is a product I'll never stop taking because this is a constant journey. This isn't something you're going to reach perfect health and just stay there forever, because unless you're just living that perfect life in the Garden of Eden and not doing anything wrong, you're going to have to keep that healthy stuff going on. And so, but the cool thing about the BioCleanse in comparison and working together with the ProBio is actually killing off all of this bad stuff. So it's going to cause you to detox. The BioCleanse is going to help support you during this detox so that the detox doesn't cause too many issues. So in combination, I never want someone to do ProBio without BioCleanse. If I do, I have them start on just like a little dash of the powder, like not even 1/4 of a capsule, because unless you have that support with the detox process, you can have a lot more symptoms. So if you have somebody going through detox, it's a real easy solution for me. I lower the probiotic and I increase the BioCleanse, because that probiotic is what's causing the detox. We want it to happen, but we don't want to force them into it too fast, because it's very real and there's a real battle going on in their gut. So we don't want to cause them to feel horrible, or then they'll quit. So I lower the probiotic and I increase the BioCleanse just a tidge on both, so that can help kind of support them through that process. So the next product is our Vital Biome. So that's our next probiotic that we're going to talk about. So how are they different? Why would one need one over the other? So the Vital Biome doesn't have any enzymes. It's not going to go in and combat any candida whatsoever. It's strictly just a probiotic. But it does have it has some of the same strains as ProBio 5, but it has some different ones too. And these strains that are in here that are different are actually ones that are proven, and we can actually say this. I love that these are words we can say. They're proven to help with anxiety. It hasn't said depression on here. I don't think we've got it tested to say depression, but if you look at some of the studies with these probiotics, they're helping with depression. They're helping with mood disorders. The combo, it's not just one probiotic by itself. It's the combination of a couple that are actually causing this to help with anxiety and depression, which is such a rapid thing right now in our society. I know my son struggled with anxiety, and I'm seeing a lot of his friends struggle with the same thing. And it's just heartbreaking to me to see these young children struggling with this at such a young age. And all I can link it to with my son is he was on a lot of antibiotics as a baby. And I think that we're just stripping our kids' guts when they're younger from ear infections and doing what we think is best for them as new mamas. And they're just being overprescribed today. And now we're seeing the results as they hit these teenage years. And so this has been a lifesaver for him. We love the Vital Biome in our household. One thing when Plexus brought it out, the way they like to describe the combo, you can take them together. Totally fine to do. I take my ProBio at night. I take my Vital Biome in the morning. They use the example of weed, seed, feed, and protect. So your weeding is your ProBio 5, because if you think of your gut as a garden, your weeding is you're getting out the bad bacteria in the ProBio 5. The weed seed is the Vital Biome, because the probiotics in the Vital Biome are actually ones that cultivate. So there's so many different strands of probiotics. Some cultivate and grow and stay, some don't. The ones in the ProBio 5 don't. which isn't a bad thing, but they're just not cultivating strains. There's a few in the bottle biome that are, which is why they call this more the seed, because it's actually going in and can stay and grow and thrive. So lead, seed, and then feed, which is our slim. It's got the prebiotic in it, so that's feeding it. And then protect is what we're going to go to next. That's our XFactor Plus. So XFactor Plus, we have two multivitamins. We have XFactor and XFactor Plus. Another thing where it can kind of get confusing, why are there two? So XFactor was our original multivitamin that came out in, I think it was my first year, my first convention at Plexus when they announced it. I had just started, so it was just a little over almost 5 years ago that XFactor came out. And it's one thing that's amazing about it is it has an aloe blend. It uses the aloe gel and the aloe stem. And that aloe blend, it's a patented aloe blend, helps get the vitamins to where they need to go. So the vitamins are actually absorbing into your body and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, they came out with XFactor Plus and they kept the original XFactor because so many of us oldies just loved it and didn't want to let go of it. So XFactor Plus is XFactor with a ton more minerals and vitamins. And so if you're sensitive to a multivitamin, I usually start somebody out on the original XFactor because there's not as many vitamins in it. If you're one that tends to have issues with your stomach with a multivitamin, it's a good, gentle multivitamin that absorbs and does what it's supposed to do. If you're not, XFactor Plus is phenomenal because it has everything you need in there. It is jam-packed with multivitamins. Now, one thing that's very important for y'all to know about both of our vitamins is they are methylated. Now, this is huge because kind of the big thing that people are realizing, it's kind of a new breakthrough that people are starting to discover in the medical community, is the MTHFR gene mutation. So if you have this mutation, and over 40% of the population does, so you have a 50-50 chance of having it, then your body cannot methylate B vitamins or folic acid. And so what that means is it can't turn it into the vitamin that it's supposed to be in your body. So if you're taking a synthetic version of a B vitamin or folic acid, it's just going to store up as toxins in your body if you have this gene mutation, because you can't methylate them into the correct version. And these toxins, they've been linked to miscarriages. And think about it, all of us women, we were put on high doses of folic acid, which is the synthetic form of folate. Folate is what you need. And no wonder so many women were having miscarriages. And so there's these links between this. There's these links between depression and anxiety and all kinds of things because the bodies aren't detoxing these toxins. And so basically when you have this gene mutation, you have a harder time detoxing and you can't methylate those vitamins that are synthetic. So it's why it's important to have a methylated B vitamin and folic acid. So you may start hearing the buzz more and more as the more it gets popular. You may see somebody ask on Facebook, I need a methylated vitamin. We have that. So we still have, I'll just being fully honest, there are some B vitamins. I think it's in Accelerator and maybe the P96. They're not methylated yet. So we're still working to get we can't say all of our products are methylated because there are a few that aren't. I know Heather Burke can tell you more on that because she does have the MTHFR gene mutation and it affects her greatly. She notices a huge difference if she takes a synthetic B vitamin. And so she can tell you which ones for sure to stay away from, but I want to say it's just the P96 and the Accelerator. But it's just something to know because it's life-changing for people that can't process those vitamins. So I love that we changed our vitamins to this way. The XFactor Kids is also methylated. So the old one wasn't. So they just updated that with our new one. So, which is great because our children are, we don't want them to start storing up these toxins. It's where it begins. So the cool thing about the XFactor Kids is also a probiotic and a multivitamin. So it's a great 2-in-1. It's an easy chewable. It's not a gummy because gummies require lots of sugar. It's a chewable. It's sweetened with xylitol and stevia. So xylitol is a sugar alcohol. A cool thing about xylitol is you'll see a lot of natural toothpaste use it. One of the reasons why it's great to use in a kid's chewable, because they chew them and they get stuck in their teeth, right? And a lot of times they take it when they go out the door and they don't brush their teeth. Well, that xylitol is not going to rot their teeth. It actually is proven to reverse tooth caries. So it can be good for their teeth. So I love that they thought, just little things like that that they thought of. I think it's super cool. So I love that. But my kids love the XFactor Plus, and it has been a great vitamin for them. So the next one I want to talk to y'all about is MegaX. So this is our omega. It's got all 5 omegas in it, and it is great for heart health, for brain health. So I have 2 kids that have dyslexia. Omegas are huge for children with dyslexia, because one of the things with them is they typically have a hard time with the crossover of the brain. So there's a midline of the brain, and then you have the right side and the left side, and they are right brain learners. So it means things come if you learn from audible, like if you can listen to things and it sinks in, that's going into your left side, it's got to cross over the brain and go to your right side. So people with dyslexia tend to can't process things. They don't go to their left side and they can't cross over. So they have to see things in pictures. So pictures they learn better in. Like words, they can't memorize thought words typically because they can't visualize it. Well, that midline of the brain needs those fatty acids to help with that crossover. I know I'm kind of going into dyslexia a lot and getting off track here, but that midline of the brain needs those fatty acids so that it can cross over from the left to the right. And so this is huge for my babies that have dyslexia. I have them on a higher dose of the MegaX. You know, I've talked to their pediatricians about it and stuff, and they've totally approved it for us, and we have them on a high dose of this for that. So if you happen to hear somebody that sees that, maybe have them research the connection. Usually when I have somebody, I don't just say, use my product, it's great. You know, I'll be like, research the connection between omegas and dyslexia and talk to your pediatrician, because, you know, I know my friend Nikki has had great success with her children with it. Also great for autism. I know, actually, I could say my friend Tammy Johnson has had great success with it with her. She's got 2 with autism. And so again, don't just straight up say this is going to cure your kid's autism, but maybe say, look into the connection of what omegas can do to help them out in that process. Because it can be huge with that brain health. So another one, people have huge success with this with sleep. People who are insomniacs might benefit greatly from the MegaX. But just great overall product. So now I'm going to talk to y'all about our natural pain line, which is the Ease Nerve and Ease Cream. So Ease, I love Ease. It's one of my new favorite products, and I don't know why it took me 5 years to fall in love with this product. Well, I do know why. It's because it tastes like fish, and it took me a long time to learn to swallow it. But now that I have, like, I'm obsessed with it. So it is, it's just like it's like you would take this like you would over-the-counter Advil, but it's so much more than just the anti-inflammatory. So it is your anti-inflammatory if you have someone with chronic pain. So the interesting thing about this product, with ProBio, we're going to start really low and we're going to build up. With Ease, you're going to start really high and cut and taper down. So if you have somebody with chronic pain, you want to start them with at least the loading dose, which is 6 pills a day, and do that for 2 months, and then cut back to 4 a day for 2 months and back to 2 a day for hopefully forever. So that's a typical guideline on the Ease pills for chronic pain. I've seen people get doctor's approval to take up to like 16 a day. I know it's better than narcotics that a lot of people are taking, but again, it would be something I would work with somebody alongside if they're going to be doing over the recommended dosage. But if you have someone that suffers from pain, this can be life-changing for them. Another great thing about Ease is it has antifungal, it has antibacterial, and antiviral properties in it. It is fantastic if you are sick. That is what initially has sold me on it recently, is every now and then here in Houston, I'll get some seasonal allergy flare-ups, 1,000 times better than they were before Plexus. But I don't know if any of y'all are in the Houston area, but it snows yellow this time of year and pollen is ridiculous. And so I'll start to get just a tiny flare-up of my allergies, and I'll take 3 or 4 E's and it's gone. Like my husband almost had the flu. I say almost, he probably did have the flu this year and stocked up on E's. I'm like, take the E's and gone. Like it really will kick a sickness, like if you catch it right in the beginning, I have been shocked at how well it is for helping me with my allergies or any sickness that kind of comes up. So great little trick for that. It's not something that it actually shows, but I talk about it on the Fall in Love with Plexus and show you which ingredients. It's the turmeric that has all of those antiviral, antifungal properties in it. So great product. But again, also helps with inflammation. If you ever just feel puffy or swollen, it's going to help lower that inflammation. So if in some people, it's the key for weight loss, because some people they're holding on to weight because their body is holding on to inflammation. So it can be something that helps people with that also. Then we have the nerve. So there's two ways that people experience pain. It's either through nerve damage or through inflammation. If you have pain from nerve damage, 99% of the time you also have inflammation to go with it. So if you have someone that needs to be on nerve, they're going to want to take ease alongside it, because they also need to reduce that inflammation alongside healing the nerves. But this one, it's not going to be used as often, but it can be life-changing for the people who need it. There's actually ingredients in it that help with the regrowth of nerves. And so if someone has neuropathy or if they have any nerve damage, this is what they're going to need to take. I do use it on occasion because I'll get a pinched nerve in my neck just from sleeping wrong, or if you ever get, like a crick in your neck, and it does wonders for me when that happens. So it can be used for temporary things like that, but the most reason it's going to be used is for people who have chronic nerve damage, like this long-term nerve damage. I actually had someone when I first started who had a nerve sliced in her hip during a surgery on accident. They cut through a major nerve and just kind of said, "We're sorry, like you're stuck with this for life." And she was on nerve and ease for about a year and never had any issues after that. We started on a really high doses, and it, I guess, healed the nerve, because after that she was great. So there can be some amazing testimonies with the nerve pills. And then Ease Cream is the temporary pain relief cream. I love it for lots of things. It's good to rub on your temples for headaches. I'll put it on mosquito bites, on sunburns, lots of things. I really always have it with me in my purse. So again, but if you have someone that has like chronic pain going on, my dad had rheumatoid arthritis. He has been healed from it completely with Plexus products. I can't compliantly say that, but I'm just being honest. But it was great for him when his hands were hurting so bad in the beginning. He could rub the Ease on him. It would just be some temporary relief while we were getting his gut healed. So great products. So then I'm going to talk about more like our weight loss products and more of our kind of quick fix products is what I like to call them. These are not what I consider our bread and butter, but they are great too. So because we have a society that wants quick fix, I try to gear them toward the long term, the natural health, what sustains us. But just to pull them in, sometimes they want that quick fix. So Edge is one of them. Although it can be a quick fix, it also can be a life changer for people, because it almost kind of works like a ADD medicine. If you have the type of ADD that you need a stimulant instead of a downer, like it's basically what Edge is a natural form of that, because it has been proven to help with focus, to help, with keeping, your concentration, but it also has that stimulant in it, which is what a lot of ADD meds have. So I love Edge on days that I need caffeine. I don't really consume any caffeine anymore with Plexus, but I do have days where I'm like, I got a lot to do today and I just don't want to do any of it. And that's the day I take my Edge. And it does. It puts me in like hyper mode all day long, Energizer bunny. So I love it, and it can be something if you have somebody that loves caffeine, that loves that. I was a caffeine addict when I started Plexus. This would have sold me when I first started, because I just was a caffeine junkie, and so it's a great product for that. Then we have Block. So this is your cheat pill, so to say. So it's going to help block the absorption of up to 48% of carbs in your diet. This can also be great for people who have A1C levels, because you're blocking those sugars, and it's going to help with the diabetics lowering their A1C levels, or at least I have seen that it has. Can't promise them that, but I have seen great results in some of my customers with this. but I have seen people have less good results if they take Block when they are not also consuming carbohydrates. So this is something you want to actually take when you are consuming carbs and sugars. Like if you are on a keto diet, I would stay away from Block because you're probably just going to get bloated. That tends to be what happens. But it is, but you know, a lot of us, you know, lack our carbs and sugars. And so it's great to take right before it, just so half of it isn't turning just into fat on your body. So that is Block. Then we have P96. It is our whey protein shake. It's 96 calories. Just a great, there's all kinds of fun recipes. You'll see Plexus post. I've seen people do belly buster challenges where they mix this with Slim and use it as a meal replacement and coconut milk. For people that like protein shakes, this can be a great replacement for them. I wouldn't say it's our #1 seller, but it's definitely handy for people that like meal replacements. I don't. I like to chew my food. So, and then we have Boost and Accelerator. So these are our 2 weight loss products. So they're your classic weight loss pill. They really are. They're healthier than what you're going to get if you go into GNC. They're more clean, pure products. It's not the caffeine in them is all natural caffeine, so you can feel a little safer about, you know, giving them to somebody to take. But how do you recommend them? This can be tricky for people knowing which, if somebody wants one of the weight loss pills and they won't listen to me and take Triplex, which one do I recommend them take? And so what I have found over time is that the Accelerator Plus tends to be a stronger stimulant than Boost. I have seen some people say otherwise, but for the most part, Accelerator Plus tends to be a stronger stimulant than Boost. So my women tend to like Accelerator better than my men tend to like Boost better. If you're a hardcore workout, they tend to like Boost better if they're working out a lot than Accelerator. Accelerator has 5-HTP in it, which is a mood enhancer. So women tend to like that better. I love Accelerator I usually take it like right before I start my period, that week before when I'm crazy moody. It helps me stay a little happier and less snippy. So I like the 5-HTP in it. So those are kind of, oh, and the Boost tends to have a stronger appetite suppressant. So that's kind of what I tell people and when they're trying to make that decision. And also just remind them, we have a 60-day guarantee. If you order Boost and then like day 1 you're shaky, don't worry. We'll get your money back and then just order Accelerator. It's not a big deal. So it's kind of nice, you know, reminding people, you know, the 60-day guarantee is on every single product. So if you use it on Boost and then don't like something else, you can still use it again. So don't think it's just a one-time chance. So, okay, so Brianna, sorry, I just missed your question down here. You said, when's the best time to take XFactor? And do people take XFactor with food? So XFactor, you definitely want to take it in the morning. I have found my husband actually likes to take it before bed, but if he takes it and then doesn't fall asleep instantly, he'll be up all night. So he likes to take it right before bed because if he can fall asleep right when he takes it, he wakes up like early and feels refreshed and doesn't feel like he needs as much sleep. But I have seen it affect people's sleep, so I tend to stick with morning recommendation on it. All of those vitamins are going to keep you alert and going and kind of can affect your sleep. So taking it with food though, XFactor Original, I have never had anybody have issues taking it. It doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but I've never had anyone have issues taking it on an empty stomach. XFactor Plus would definitely recommend taking it with food. It is a lot of minerals and vitamins going on. It can give you an upset stomach if you take it on an empty stomach. So, I mean, safe to tell them with both of them that I've had no issues with XFactor Plus on XFactor Original on an empty stomach, XFactor Plus with food. And then the last product that we have is our body cream. So this is kind of our lotion. So it is a awesome detoxing lotion that you can use to help, like if any, like it's great for eczema, great for it's got that spirulina algae and the activated charcoal. It kind of seems random, but I've seen a big movement for people to switch from mainstream deodorant to more natural deodorant. To the deodorant without aluminum. Again, this is coming from the the MTHFR gene mutation. They can't detox that aluminum, and it's building up as toxins in their body. And so they're switching to the natural deodorant. When they do that, if they switch straight to it, you get big sores in your armpits. So you have to detox your armpits. So you can either use just straight activated charcoal there, or I've seen tons of people using the body cream to kind of help detox their pits. So it's kind of random. Also, I see people using it for hair cream to help straighten their hair. People, I mean, you'll notice Plexus people love to use our products for multiple things. But body creams that people have just raved about how great it is. It's like as a hair cream. I already have naturally bored straight hair. As you can see, this is straight from the shower, so I don't need anything to help straighten it. But great for that. But I personally had amazing results with this with my daughter when she was younger with eczema. I have a really cool picture where I mixed it. If anyone ever has an eczema testimony and wants to see it, I can send it to you. I mixed it with Probiotics 5 Straight, and she had some eczema patches that had been there for like 4 or 5 months and hadn't left, and they were gone within like 3 days with the body cream and Probiotics 5 Straight on her skin. So great for that, great for sunburns. I actually mixed this with the Ease cream. I mixed the body cream and Ease cream together for a sunburn. Fantastic for that. So it's just another great cream. People use it as face cream at night sometimes. I use it just as my hand lotion. This is my main hand lotion that I use. And then our very last one I wanted to talk to y'all about is our breast check kit. I love that we still sell this. It's the foundation of our company. Plexus actually started as a breast health company, and all they sold was the breast check kit, and soon after they had the breast cream, which is now our body cream. So when I joined, it was actually called breast cream, and I have a bottle of it or a little jar of it around here somewhere. But the breast check kit is to help you do your regular breast checks to make sure you don't have any lumps. It heightens the sense of touch on your skin so that you can check for any lumps that aren't there to make sure that you don't have, early stages of breast cancer. And so I love that it's still here. It's why our companies, our philanthropy is breast cancer awareness. It's why we do the breast cancer walk at convention, and all of our donations go to I think it's Breast Cancer of America. I can't remember the exact organization, but it's just kind of a neat history about Plexus is that we started with just a breast check kit, and I think the only person that was with us then that's still here today is Sarah Marble and Amy Sage. So they were here when it was just the breast check kit. So it's kind of neat to see our ambassadors that have been there since the beginning, when that's all we had before we had Plexus Plan. So, but that's our products. If any of you have any questions on timing of the products, what you can take together, anything, anybody have anything? Well, if you think of anything later, do not hesitate to reach out and message me, and y'all have a great night.